Police say those shots killed 79-year-old Stephen Suglam, 60-year-old Angella Suglam, and 31-year-old Lisa Suglam. They also sent 59-year-old Gary Taylor and a 15-year-old to the hospital with a teenager in critical condition.
Some of the victims were family members of the suspect. His address listed on the arrest report, the building where the shooting took place. Police say that they believe the shooting was a domestic incident. In the arrest affidavit, one witness said that he pretended to be dead after one of the victims shot dead fell on top of him.
Just before 9:30 p.m. on January 20th, Palm Bay police responded to the Wood Lake apartment complex for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would locate several individuals suffering from what appears to be gunshot wounds.
Right now, we are learning more about a shooting in Palm Bay last night that left 3 people dead. It happened at the Wood Lake Village Apartments. Fox 35's Matt Trezza was there today and spoke with neighbors who were shocked to hear what had happened.
This was the scene at the Wood Lake Apartments this morning. Palm Bay police got calls about a shooting around 9:30 Saturday night. Neighbor David Molina says he heard the sounds.
I heard some shots, but I thought it was coming from my TV. You know, it was about 7, 8 shots. That was about it. But didn't think anything of it. I heard some dogs barking. Alarmed, shocking, you know, very surprised.
Neighbors say they're shocked by the violence. People who've been living here for years tell us they've never seen anything like it.
It is really quiet in here. You know, we don't really have a whole lot of police presence at all.
You got stray bullets that could hit anybody. I got a 2-year-old granddaughter that comes out here and plays, so I'm a little worried.
Police are calling this a domestic incident and say there's no further threat to the community.
The victims were identified as 79-year-old Stephen Suglam, his daughter, 60-year-old Angella Suglam, and her daughter, 31-year-old Lisa Suglam, who were all sadly pronounced dead at the scene after suffering gunshot wounds to the head. 2 additional victims were located, including a 59-year-old male identified as Gary Taylor and a 15-year-old male who was also shot in the head and taken to a local hospital in critical condition. 60-year-old Angella Suglam and her daughter, 31-year-old Lisa Suglam, were both home health care nurses who took on private clients. Angella had moved to Florida from New York years prior for a fresh start and change of scenery. Friends described her as a kind and loving woman. Lisa Suglam was a loving and devoted mother of 3 who also helped in taking care of her brother, Tyshawn. Never in any of their wildest dreams could they have imagined that he would eventually turn on both of them. Witnesses at the scene immediately identified the suspect as 23-year-old Tyshawn Taylor, who was related to all 3 victims: his grandfather, Stephen Suglam, his mother, Angella Suglam, his sister, Lisa Suglam, and his 15-year-old nephew. Taylor immediately fled the scene in his mother's black Lexus, driving towards the nearby city of Melbourne. An hour after the shootings, and after a brief car chase, Taylor was taken into custody and police say they found a gun in the passenger seat. Palm Bay detectives say Taylor had earlier walked from his bedroom with a laser-scoped handgun and into the bedroom where his mother, Angella Suglam, was lying in bed with 2 children. She yelled, "Don't do it," before being struck in the head by gunfire. Taylor then fired several more rounds, striking his sister Lisa, who fell on top of one of the victims who survived the shooting. The victim told officers that he pretended to be dead while Taylor walked around the apartment. The witness then heard someone yell, "What's going on?" before 2 shots were fired, followed by a door slamming. Other residents fled from the apartment to get help from neighbors, pounding on doors as one child hid under the bed. Taylor's father and other family members told news sources that Taylor's mother had sought treatment for him for several years after a diagnosis of schizophrenia, a mental illness often accompanied by paranoia and delusions. The family said they didn't know what might have led to the shootings. Taylor's father, who last saw his son 2 years ago while he was in a facility being treated, stated in an interview, "He's my son. He's sick and has schizophrenia. This is such a tragedy, but I know he is not in his right mind." A search of arrest records showed Taylor was arrested for stealing a toaster from Walmart in 2021 and was charged with resisting arrest. A judge later ruled in August of 2021 that Taylor was incompetent and could not go forward with trial. The judge, however, followed recommendations from the state attorney's office that Taylor continue being observed by Circles of Care, a mental health facility in Melbourne.
We saw friends and loved ones grieving Sunday morning after Palm Bay police say 3 family members were shot to death at the Woodlake Village apartments late Saturday.
Possible multiple GSWs at 2700 Woodlake Drive.
Police saying their 79-year-old Stephen Suglam, 60-year-old Angella Suglam, and 31-year-old Lisa Suglam. Police saying they also found a 59-year-old man hurt and a 15-year-old in critical condition.
I'm just shocked that it happened right in front of my door.
Police say through interviews they tracked down the suspect, 26-year-old Tashawn Taylor, who they say left the apartment. After putting out his vehicle information, Melbourne police helped track down Taylor on Babcock Street a few miles away.
There was probably 15, 20 cop cars that were here, a bunch of ambulances.
Investigators carried out evidence from the apartment and loaded it into this crime scene van. And as we saw police detectives working this scene Sunday morning, hours after it all happened, we also saw what appeared to be this back sliding door now boarded up, covered with plywood. We see the plywood up now, but what was there before?
There was a bullet hole, and so the glass was shattered.
26-year-old Tashawn Taylor is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder and is being held without bond at the Brevard County Jail. If convicted on 1 murder charge, Taylor could be sentenced to life in state prison. He appeared in front of a judge and allegedly appeared confused at times while being questioned by the judge. After several attempts by the judge to get confirmation from Taylor on a court-appointed attorney, he accepted one. Taylor is scheduled to reappear in court on February 22nd. A motive in the case is still unknown, and the case remains ongoing.
Accused man behind a shooting rampage in a Palm Bay apartment, which left 3 dead and 2 injured, had his first court appearance today.
Our Brevard County Bureau Chief Scott Heidler joins us live from the Palm Bay Police Department with what the judge had to say. Scott.
Well, Tashawn Taylor appeared in front of a judge for the first time since his arrest on Saturday. Now, he's facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and at times seemed confused.
We're going to take Mr. Taylor first.
After several attempts by Judge Judith Atkin to get a confirmation from the defendant Taylor on a court-appointed attorney.
I want a lawyer. I don't know.
You need a lawyer, sir. This is a murder charge.
He then accepted a court-appointed attorney, the 26-year-old Palm Bay man, facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 charges of attempted first-degree murder.
I'm finding that Mr. Taylor is a danger to the community and ordering no bond on any of the 5 counts in case.
No contact with family members of the victims, even phone calls from jail. According to Palm Bay police, after receiving a 911 call at the Woodlake apartment complex, they found 3 people shot to death. 79-year-old Stephen Suglam, 60-year-old Angella Suglam, and 31-year-old Lisa Suglam. 2 others were found with gunshot wounds, including a 15-year-old, according to police. Several witnesses pointed police to Taylor. Some of the victims were family members of the suspect. His address listed on the arrest report, the building where the shooting took place. Police say that they believe the shooting was a domestic incident. In the arrest affidavit, one witness said that he pretended to be dead after one of the victims shot dead fell on top of him.